Figurized Standard Amplified ShineGreymon. Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we got the Figurized Standard Amplified ShineGreymon from Bandai. This kit was released in June of 2023 and it cost me around $85 Canadian. First appearing in Digimon Saviors, or as they call it in the West, Digimon Data Squad. It was the partner Digimon of the single strongest Digimon protagonist ever, Marcus Damon, who could resolve any problem with his fists, with ShineGreymon being the Mega level Digimon evolving from Agumon. And personally, I do like Digimon Data Squad quite a bit. So when ShineGreymon was announced, oh man, I knew I had to get it. But enough of that, let's start the review. Starting with the box, which has an absolutely gorgeous box art. Definitely wallpaper worthy, and we got a little logo of the Digimon Saviors on the top left over here. And if anything, the box art is a good indicator of how well the kit's gonna look when you're finished. On the side of the box, we see some posing with the weapons that come with the kit. And keep in mind this is all painted, so it's not gonna look like this out of the box. But we also got images emphasizing the movement in the wings, as well as the Geo Gray sword that it comes with. And like the previous Digimon kits, it's also emphasizing the nice sticker plastics they've been using, like for their weapons and their cape. In this case, it's the red stickers on the Geo Gray sword. And you can see that the swords can be separated or combined together. Also got a nice little text box emphasizing the shoulder mobility, which looks pretty good to be able to pull off this pose. On the other side of the box, we got the ShineGreymon in a neutral pose with the front and back view. Now these images of the kit aren't painted, so this is what you can expect. And lastly, we got a brief description of the ShineGreymon. You can pause and read it if you want. But off to the model kit itself. I present to you the Figurized Standard Amplified ShineGreymon. Complete straight build with panel lining, which I highly recommend. And unfortunately, the worst part of the kit, the goddamn stickers. Of which we got a lot. We got stickers on the eyes, stickers on these jewels on the wings, these small stickers on the shoulders, both sides, and of course both shoulders. We also got this very tiny sticker under the armpit, both sides, both shoulders. Chest sticker, as well as 4 tiny stickers on his crotch, 3 tiny stickers on his legs, stickers on the spiky part of his knees. But that's not all, we got stupid stickers that have to fold and bend everywhere, and there's several of them. Stickers! 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 Too many stickers, I didn't even bother using some of them. And the worst thing is some are small, and they have to contort around weird shapes. Also, there are stickers on the swords, which are thicker than the foil stickers you get, and you definitely need them on the swords. Also, there's 2 jewel stickers that are given to you. I only use one, it's for this connector piece that I'm going to use later on for the Geo Gray swords. And though I absolutely hate applying the stickers, and there's just a lot of them, there's no denying that the stickers do add good color onto the kit, but even without it, the kit does have pretty good colored part separation. It contrasts pretty well, and the gold does look a lot better than the previous gold they use. It's a little brighter, but I still wish to use gold chrome. Appearance aside, it was a very easy build, just like all the other Digimon kits. Nothing was notably difficult. The red does leave a little bit of a nub mark, as does the silver and gold, which is somewhat noticeable. But it's still a kit I would highly recommend for beginners. And if you're wondering, here it is side by side with the anime adaptation. And as you can see, the midsection is very narrow and has better proportions compared to the anime. But despite being an amplified redesign, the model kit and the anime depiction is still very similar. With the model kit of course having more details because it's, well, a model kit. Aside from the significant use of stickers, I absolutely love the visuals of this kit. But can the same be said for the articulation? Starting with the head, it's able to move side to side this far, as well as tilt up and down this high. The head itself is able to 360 rotate, and the neck can move side to side, as well as extend and retract. And due to the armor's design on the base of the neck, it can only rotate this much. Coming to the arms, it's able to abduct all the way this high, showing the excellent shoulder mobility as illustrated on the box earlier. Also got a 360 arm rotation, with the spiky shoulder pauldrons also being able to rotate, and the shoulder joint is able to internally externally rotate this much. We got an upper bicep 360. Elbow bend is very limited, barely being able to do 90 degrees, and the hands on a ball joint being able to do basic swivel movements. Now we come to the back where the wings are. They're able to internally externally rotate this far, as well as being able to rotate up and down this much. These little bits on the wings are able to rotate, and they can move independently from one another. And all these bits of the wings are able to rotate independently as well, with each part having its own range of motion, unique to one another, with some having a much more limited range of motion compared to others. I personally like them all splayed out, but you're able to just fold them up like this. The wings would be able to perform a 360, but the other wing limits this range of motion. Coming to the body, this part here has the most limited range of motion, barely able to do an ab crunch and back extension, as well as a very limited side bend. but at least the whole upper body could 360 rotate. Just be careful with the wings. Coming down to the legs, these parts on the hips are able to move up and down. And the ShineGreymon could perform a perfect split. Stupendous! Now just going to take away the geograde sword, so we can do a 360 rotation on the leg. Additionally, the hip joint does allow the leg to move up and down. And we got this much of a high kick, pretty damn good. Followed by a pretty good back kick. After which we got a limited knee bend, barely being able to do 90 degrees because of the armor. Going down to the ankles, it's able to swivel side to side like so. The mid part of the foot is able to bend up, and the claws are able to move individually, though very slightly. As for ankle dorsiflexion, it could go up this high and toe point this much. And finally we have a tail, which has a copper wire that runs right through the whole segment of the tail, giving it a good bit of flexibility and rigidity. And at the tip of the tail we got this little thing over here which is able to rotate. Alright, that's it for articulation. Articulation in the shoulders and hips are really good, though the knee, torso, and elbows are very limited. In terms of articulation, it's not the best, nor is it the worst. You'll still be able to pull off a variety of poses, like this kneeling pose. Next up, extras and accessories, of which there's not that much. Firstly, the only weapon it has is the geograde swords. And on a closer look, you can see a good amount of detail and textures on the swords. And the red you see on it is in fact a sticker that's given to you. I recommend you putting it on, because then it'll just give it some color on all this gold. And like I said before, this gold injected plastic looks significantly better than the previous gold they used on older Digimon kits, though I still prefer chrome gold. Now the swords do come with this little holding handle thing that you just slide right onto the handle. This is used to store the swords on the hip, but realistically you're going to have this in his hand, which is easy to do. Slide off that spiky handle thing and slide it right into the hands. So you can have the ShineGreymon dual wield his swords. Looks awesome, looks pretty cool, but let's move on. There's an alternative version of how he holds the sword, in which you're given this connector piece that allows you to connect both swords together. I only use one sticker because you only need it on one side, but I guess I should put the other one on. In addition, it comes with the handle that attaches to the connector piece, and yeah, you're going to need this piece to equip it. Firstly, remove the actual handles from the swords, replace it with this middle connector piece, make sure it's aligned, and then connect the swords together. You should have no issue with this, it's relatively easy. And this is what it should look like when the swords are combined, and I gotta say it looks pretty badass. Now to have ShineGreymon hold it, you're going to need to attach the handles, remove the top part of his hand, and then slide in the handle. Quite an interesting way of holding it, but it definitely looks very cool. And though I prefer aerial poses, being on the ground doesn't look half bad. But realistically, let's put it on a flying base. It comes with this small little adapter over here, and you gotta remove the tail to reveal the socket for the adapter. Socket goes in very easily, then reattach the tail. Then get yourself an action base, not included, I'm using the action base 1. And now this is the best way of displaying it. Pulling off that iconic box pose with the two-handed geograde sword, and with the level articulation the shoulder has, this was really easy to pull off. And I gotta say, one good aspect about this kit is that it's a very good poser. Quite fun to play around with. So pretty good overall, and shake test. Well, this was not really surprising considering how top heavy it is with all the wings and stuff. But one thing I did notice is that this is probably the loosest part on the kit. These spiky kneecaps. They do sometimes come off when I tap them, but it's not 100% of the time. And the geograde sword is actually quite heavy when you combine it together, so the handle has a hard time holding it. Overall, it's a top heavy kit with a heavy weapon, but that's from extreme shaking. It's not a hand grenade, and in the grand scheme of things, it's still somewhat solid. As for size, the kit does stand around 10 to 11 inches, or about 26 centimeters, depending on how you position the wings. This also applies to width. When the wings are splayed all out, it's also 10 to 11 inches. As for size comparison, here it is next to the entry grade Arc 78-2, Master grade Arc 78-2, the 40th anniversary Takara Tomy Blade Liger, and fellow Digimon kit, the Figure Standard Amplified War Greymon. Then we got Haro, Doraemon, DK, ST Death Scythe, a wooden Jeep, an unbuilt Predator tank, and an unbuilt Ifrith. As for shelf presence, yeah, this shelf is getting kind of full, but it's a pretty big kit in here. It looks pretty good next to the other Digimon kits. So it concludes another review. What are my final thoughts on the Amplified ShineGreymon? There's too many goddamn stickers, and a lot of them has to contour around pieces. They do make the kit look a little better, but because some of them are folded around edges, I do see some issues in the future when they might come off. As for pricing, though I do find it expensive, it is pretty average in terms of Figure Standard Amplified Digimon kits, and though the shake test did bisect the kit, it still held up relatively fine. I do like the kit comes with the geograde sword, and it's pretty fun to pose with on the kit. but it's completely understandable if you're still wanting more. And let's not forget appearance-wise, I think this is an absolutely beautiful kit. I understand if you're not a big fan of the amplified redesigns, but compared to older Digimon kits, I don't think this design is as drastic. So because of my bias, I would actually recommend this kit. It's pretty easy to build and it looks amazing. But that's my own personal opinion. Thanks again for watching my video. I hope you like it. I enjoy making it. Let me know what you think. And with this kit in my collection, I have 3 of my 5 favorite Digimon. Hopefully they release Apollomon and O-Force Vidramon one day. Here's hoping. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye.